Hello everyone, and welcome to 1923 Main Street.
Home of the Daddy, Daughter, Disney Travel Podcast, starring me, Amelia.
And me, Mike Braddock. And today we are going to talk about the Disney Deluxe Villas, so perhaps I should have said welcome home.
Whoa, wait. Is nobody going to talk about my amazing intro? I mean, come on. I'm pretty great.
What amazing intro. Isn't that the same intro as every episode?
Yeah, but I do it way better.
Well, we'll see about that. Maybe one day we'll have an intro poll. Anyway, today we're going to talk about the Deluxe Villas, not from the DVC perspective. They are part of the Disney Vacation Club group of properties. But we wanted to talk about the fact that we found that there are many guests who plan Walt Disney World vacations in particular who don't know that they can book Disney Deluxe Villas as an option. So
you can do that?
Yes, you can do that. Even some of our closest friends, we are DVC members, so we tend to stay in Disney Deluxe Villas quite often. We also stay in Disney Deluxe Resort rooms quite often, but many of our own friends didn't really realize that deluxe villas are an option. So we're going to talk about today, how do deluxe villas differ from hotel rooms, and why would you stay in one anyway?
Well, I mean, they have a kitchen, so it's basically your own club level, except you can choose what you eat.
Well, that's one way of looking at it. So let's go through, first of all, where they are. So deluxe villas, there are 12 of them currently at Walt Disney World Resort, located on 10 properties. So pretty much every deluxe resort hotel, except for the Yacht Club, have deluxe villas associated with them. So if you're staying in any hotel at Walt Disney World Deluxe Resort Hotel, you have the option of staying in a deluxe villa. Two of them actually have two separate areas of villas, one being Wilderness Lodge and the other being Animal Kingdom. And then there are now 3 exclusive Disney Vacation Club standalone resorts, being Saratoga Springs, Old Key West, which was the original resort. Fun fact, was originally called Disney Vacation Club when it first opened, because perhaps they didn't know they were going to build anymore. But as we know now, they're sprouting up everywhere fast and furious. On that note, the 3rd standalone opened most recently was Disney's Riviera Resort. And Reflections, located between Wilderness Lodge and Fort Wilderness, is currently in the works. So there are plenty of deluxe villas around. And today we're going to talk about why would that even be an option for the average Disney traveler who's booking a vacation.
All right. Well, I actually had the same question. Like, is that an option? I didn't know that. But if it is an option, I would actually really recommend it, because lots of times the main building is full, and then you have to think, oh, I guess I have to go to a different resort. But wait, now you can stay in a Disney Deluxe Villa. Ooh.
This actually came up, the idea for this, back in my travel agent days. And it started when I had guests with large families, or I had, in one case, some grandparents, and they wanted to treat the whole family. And there were, I can't remember the number, but 8 or 9 of them, let's say, in the party. And they were looking at what a lot of people do who are unaware of the villas option, staying in 2 hotel rooms and trying to get connecting rooms side by side, or a suite, for example, and they wanted to stay in a deluxe resort. So that, in those cases, is when I raised the option of a 1 or a 2 bedroom villa. So to start with, villas come in a studio, which is the most similar to a hotel room with some extras, 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, and then there are some 3 bedroom grand villas all the way up to our favorite. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh.
The Bora Bora bungalows at Disney's Polynesian Village, and now the Cascade Cabins at Wilderness Lodge. So the villas have a ton of different room sizes and options. So one of the 3 main reasons I would suggest that you should consider a deluxe villa is if you have a large party and you're looking for more room.
Yeah, well, I do definitely agree with that, because I can't imagine how hard it would be to try and get connecting rooms. I mean, if you have loud people and your family a connecting room, it basically feels like they're next door. So why not just have one big room?
And there's only 3 of us in our family, but we love staying in 1 and 2 bedroom villas. Those 2 bedroom villas are huge. So there's, somehow it ends up with Amelia and her mom in the master, and I'm stuck. I'm stuck in the spare bedroom. But in those 2 bedroom villas, you literally have to yell full volume to let somebody hear you at the other end.
And have you seen those jacuzzi tubs? I mean, heaven.
Yeah, so that is one reason you have a large group. Another reason, maybe perhaps the first reason, is that if there's a particular deluxe resort you're trying to get into and it's booked, you can then look for deluxe villas at that same resort. So it's a good option to a hotel room at the main resort if what you want is unavailable. Definitely check the villas. And the villas show up when you search at disneyworld.com for hotels. They show up right in your listings, especially if you check the box, deluxe villas. So those are 2 reasons, large family or no availability. And the third reason would be the extra facilities. So Amelia's touched on that, so we can talk about that a little bit. First of all, the rooms themselves. What do they have that's extra?
Okay, well, the first thing they have, which I've touched on a bit earlier, is they have like a kitchen, first of all. And even if it's just like a very small kitchen with a microwave and like a mini fridge.
So that would be in the studio villas.
Oh, yes, in the studio villas. There are different facilities, including laundry, which I mostly stay in the villas because we are DVC members. And I didn't know the other rooms didn't have that. So
it's interesting. So a studio deluxe villa has a kitchen without a stove. So it'll have a microwave, a kitchens, and these are all granite countertop, undermount sinks, quite nice with kettles, coffee maker, microwave, all cutlery, knives and forks and plates, and there's a pantry. So a huge benefit for us that I really love about deluxe villas and miss it when I'm not staying in one is the ability to go grocery shopping and load up. And you do get fridges in the deluxe rooms, but you don't get all the kitchen amenities that go with it. You don't get laundry in the studio villas. However, you do have access to laundry in the resort. Second, once you get up from there, once you go to a 1-bedroom and 2-bedroom.
Oh, yeah.
The best way to describe these villas is they are like Disney condos.
When I'm in a 1 or 2-bedroom villa, it literally sometimes seems bigger than my own kitchen, which is kind of crazy because I'm in a hotel room. But there's like a full fridge and freezer. There's stoves, microwaves, ovens. I'm pretty sure those are different things.
And these are top-of-the-line appliances, too.
Full
so
package.
GE profile, the whole, that level quality of kitchen. So
whatever that is.
It's higher end, not the highest. They're not sub-zero fridges, but they're very nice. Like the amenities in the villas are nice. And 1-bedroom and up, you do have your own laundry, which is super handy, having a washer dryer right in your villa. So we really like that. They're also, they really are just like a condo. So if you imagine living in a 1-bedroom condo, that's what the villas are like. And then our favorite cream of the crop are the Bora Bora bungalows at Disney's Polynesian Village Resort.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so the Bora Bora bungalows, I'm not sure how to describe this. More like, it didn't feel like I was at a hotel room. I felt like I was at like a cottage, but like an incredibly high-end cottage. But it was big. There was 3 rooms?
There's 2 bedrooms and a family room, a little mud room, a washer dryer, and a massive kitchen. So the big kitchens, They really are huge.
You have your own you have a hot tub, I think.
The Bora Bora bungalows have a splash pool.
A plunge pool.
On your private patio
called.
over the water.
A plunge pool, and it's really nice because I can, because I'm smaller, I can kind of, not dive, but when I'm in there, I can kind of, duck under if it's really hot and you just want to jump in the pool, it's nice because you can do that from your own hotel room.
And the Cascade cabins at Wilderness Lodge have the hot tub.
Yeah, that's
and
what
their
I was
version.
thinking of.
Yeah. So yeah, they're now a couple of differences if you may have heard. So when you book these as a Disney Vacation Club member, the mousekeeping maid service is another difference. So when you book them as a DVC member, you do not get daily housekeeping like you're used to in a regular hotel room. And I've really
I like.
No, I've come to like not having it because how many times are we sitting out in the hall waiting for our room to be ready when we're in a traditional hotel room, right?
I was just agreeing with you.
Oh, I thought, because at first you didn't. When we first
No, yeah.
joined DVC, you did not like it. You wanted sheets and towels every day. And there's the whole environmental angle, but I mean, which is great, but personally, I just like not having someone knocking on the door at 8 a.m, and you feel sort of obligated to go out. Or if you don't, odds are you come back at 3 p.m. and they haven't come back to your room. So I really like what they usually do is if you're there in a typical week on the fourth day, so like a Wednesday of a week, then they come in and do one switchover for you. But the rest of the days, I don't wash my towels every day at home.
Yeah, and I completely agree with you. Like, when I'm in a 1 or 2 bedroom or the bungalows, even in a studio, I feel like I'm at home because when I go to a regular hotel now, I get really frustrated with the maid service and having to actually wait outside of my room and do something while they're in there cleaning after a long day of walking around or sightseeing or whatever you're doing is very frustrating. So it's really nice to just come in, and if you're staying in the bungalows or the Cascade cabins, you really feel like you're at your home away from home, which in a nutshell is basically what Disney is.
You could literally live in those. I mean, they are 2-bedroom condos, both of those. We prefer the bungalows, just our preference. I like the view, etc. But they're spectacular. Now, there are other benefits. I mean, we're going to do a whole separate show like we did for Deluxe Resorts on a this or that to break down all the various properties. But generally speaking, you sort of get a bonus when you stay at any of the Deluxe Villas because most of them have their own facilities. So not all of them, but a lot of them have their own pools and their own play areas. There's a community hall and depending on which one, there are other amenities. So when you stay in a Deluxe Villa, you get the advantage of being able to go to your own and the ones at the main hotel, whereas it doesn't necessarily work the other way. If you stay in the main hotel, you cannot go to the villa's pool areas typically. So that's a bit of a bonus area. For example, at Beach Club, they're away from Stormalong Bay, DVC Villa pools. So you're staying in the Deluxe Villas, you have other pool options. So there are extra benefits to staying in the villas. They have their own separate check-in area. They tend to be a little bit quieter than the main hotel because they don't have their own shops and stores usually. Now, there are the standalone properties. So another benefit of staying in the Deluxe Villas, which is not on my 1, 2, 3 list, is if you want to get away from it all at Walt Disney World, if you want to stay somewhere that's quiet, Deluxe Villas are a great option, in particular 2 of them. Do you know which 2 I mean?
Do you mean Saratoga and Old Key West?
Yes. So Disney Saratoga Springs Resort, which we love. That is a huge resort, and if you stay in the right area, I think we'll do another show on best places to stay on each property. That's another good topic, but you can walk quite easily to Disney Springs, so that's super handy. And that is, really quiet, relaxed, off the beaten track resorts in luxurious surroundings, particularly Old Key West, the rooms there.
Yeah, and I believe that people sometimes don't know about these resorts or know that they can stay there if they're not a DVC member. And I think it's really cool that you can, because they are very nice resorts. Like Saratoga is one of my favorite resorts, and I love being able to walk down to Disney Springs because the buses to Disney Springs have always been the worst part of going there. And I love going there, but it's very frustrating sometimes with the buses. And it's
super nice being able to walk. I do like that. And from Old Key West, you can take the boat as well. But I really like I like, if I can walk somewhere at Walt Disney World, I'm in. I like being able just to walk and not have to rely on transportation. All right, I'm going to put you on the spot here.
Uh-oh.
Name, I think we talked about this in another show, but what is your favorite deluxe hotel?
Hotel? Grand Floridian, easily.
Okay. What is your favorite deluxe villa?
Probably Bay Lake.
Really? So Bay Lake Towers, the one beside the Disney's Contemporary Resort, they are rumored to be building another one. We'll see if that happens. Yeah, apparently. So the one that exists now, old timers will remember there were the lower level outer buildings there. The other outer buildings still exist on Bay Lake over by past the pools. So there's been talk of building another tower over there. We'll see if that happens. But I'm surprised.
Second is Saratoga.
Really? I'm okay. We're not including the bungalows, just because
those don't count.
They're, whether you're paying cash or you're paying with Disney Vacation Club points, they're expensive, quite expensive. So we don't stay there all that often, but we like staying there when we can, of course. Grand Floridian for me for hotels, and I don't know. I don't even know if I can name my favorite villa. It's hard. I would take the Grand Floridian villas over Bay Lake, personally.
Really?
But I do like them all, Beach Club villas. I like Saratoga a lot as well. Now, and we're going to be doing our Riviera review shortly, so that's going to come into the mix.
Well, with me, it's kind of a tie in some ways between the Bay Lake villas, the Saratoga villas, and the Grand Villas. Those are my three favorites. I like them all equally. But what I do like right now about Bay Lake, which the Grand Floridian is getting, is the fact that you can walk there, because it is incredibly frustrating having to take the monorail when it's so crowded. It's horrible.
Yeah, another thing to pay attention to if you are thinking of booking a villa is the room sizes, just like the other hotels, are not all the same. So, for example, the Bay Lake's studio villas. So studios typically will sleep four. They'll have a queen or a king bed, and they'll have a pull-out couch, and sometimes that flip-down Murphy bed under the TV, which we really love. Those are cool. So they'll sleep 4 or 5. But the studio villas at Bay Lake are small. They're quite small. They're good for us. We don't mind. There's 3 of us. They'll be okay for 4, but anything beyond that, they're small. So they're not all the same. Whereas Old Key West villas are they're huge. And Grand Floridians are pretty good. At the Polynesian, the villas, they just took Tokelau and another building and converted them into villas. So those are large rooms by villa standards. But yeah, that's another thing to consider. And also larger families. Definitely, I would recommend comparing a 1 or 2 bedroom villa cost to if you are the type of family that typically may need to book 2 rooms. And it's not only the rooms themselves. You will have all those extra amenities of laundry, full kitchen, and I mean, on top of that, multiple big screen TVs. Not that you want to sit and watch television, but it is, nice to have all those amenities. You really do feel like you're home. When they say welcome home as the catchphrase for Disney Vacation Club, it really does feel like you're at home, especially if you live in a condo.
Yeah, or especially if you live in a smaller house, like a bungalow. If you stay in the Polynesian bungalows, it will feel like you're at home. And even we live in a regular sized house, right? The Polynesian bungalows felt like home.
When we stay in the bungalows, we literally were canceling fast passes because we didn't want to leave the bungalows. We just loved being in it and just hanging out in our room, which is sort of odd, but that's how good it is.
Yeah, it's amazing. It exceeded all of my expectations.
Absolutely. Anything else you want to say about why you would stay in a Disney Deluxe Villa?
Well, I would say, and I know we've said this a lot, but it really does feel like home. And lots of times when you're on vacation, it feels like when you're in your hotel room, you are kind of in a hotel room, you're kind of antsy, some of them aren't the cleanest, but the villas are very nice because they do feel, well, like home. And even I do love the limited maid service because it's better for the environment. And when you're at home, do you like really wash your towels every single day and your bed sheets every single day?
Also, you just reminded me of something. So if you have kids, there's no denying how nice the extra space is to move around. Again, especially if you're one bedroom or up. And they do also have vacuums. I mean, I know you don't, it's funny because you don't want to feel like, oh, I'm vacuuming, I'm on vacation. But the mindset of the villas are like villas. We're going to do another show on villa life at Walt Disney World because when you know, this villa in Tuscany or living in France in a villa, it is like you're renting a home. And that's the mindset for the villas, and they are structured in that way. So beyond the main 3 points that I really want to get across today, that villas are worth considering if you don't have the availability you want at your resort, if you have a large family or a group, or if you like the idea of having kitchen facilities to be able to cook your own meals. Above and beyond that, there is definitely a different feel both to the buildings and the grounds and being in a villa. It definitely feels different than a hotel room. And you get all the benefits of the hotel for the ones that are associated with those properties. So definitely, if you're ever in any of these situations, don't forget to look for the deluxe villa options. Pricing, I should mention. Now, Disney pricing varies so much, so there's no definitive statement I can make about pricing, but I can tell you that typically this for that in the villas, like on a studio, which is a regular hotel room, they're fairly close. They'll be within less than $100 usually on an A for A comparison. So there's not a massive price difference. They may be a little bit more, they may be a little bit less, but they're within range. You know, when you're comparing a studio to a hotel room, which is effectively what a studio villa is, a hotel room in traditional terms.
Yeah, well, I think that pretty much rounds out this episode of 1923 Main Street.
Oh, you're wrapping it up for us already?
Well, I know. You just want to hear more of my voice.
Okay, well, maybe we should wrap it up then. But, yeah, so that's all we have on Deluxe Villas today. We love them. We enjoy staying in them. As I mentioned, we're going to be covering the Riviera shortly in another episode, so watch for that. And thank you, as always, for listening. Be sure to check out our social media on Twitter and Instagram and visit our website. And if you're playing on Apple Podcasts, if you love this episode, feel free to give us a good rating and leave us a few words about what you liked most about the episode. It's always super appreciated.
Oh, well, we don't need a few words. We just need my name.
Oh, my goodness. A star is born. I'm going to have to work on this going forward. So thanks, everyone, for listening. We hope you enjoyed the show, and we look forward to seeing you again next week.
Thank you. Bye-bye.